this is it. Judgment Day. Today, things are gonna get settled at last. A lot of things. Wah! What's the big deal? What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder, caused a little power outage there, my bad. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. I don't know, man. You might want to get that checked out. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum, as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. So, like... What's wrong with you that this is happening? Like, why are you this way? Whoa, yeah, pal. What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm gonna prove it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We've reached the final day in our proceedings in this trial. I ask the prosecution submit decisive evidence. The defense can fuck right off. No decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement? Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. Strange. I wonder why he didn't just say that he murdered somebody. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. I'm really sorry about leaving yesterday like I did, but I wasn't running away or nothing. I, went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as it is. Well, it's gotta be the fucking motive one that we go for, right? Very well, let's begin the cross-examination. He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. So, is there anything we can just slam? I don't think so. What's in this file again? Right. 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 Do you think we slam this down right now? Well, we'll just press first anyway. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing and over and over until the trial ends. First, I have to prove this man is who he is. Well... if we're gonna prove that, it surely just has to be the DL6 case file, right? Answers to the name Polly. Damn. You hate to see it. Well, nothing else obviously proves that he's lying about his memory, does it? It's not gonna be the bullet, if it's not the case file. I mean, there's Polly, who's named after his wife, but... I feel like you need to establish the other premise first before you can start going, oh, he named the parrot after his wife. Alright, let's press on the other things. This doesn't seem worth pressing on, but sometimes you just have to press on everything. I'd call what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and you realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do. Von Karma and Yanni Yogi. Then why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so hard to just quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. Food. Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats those high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kind of got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes, and yet I'm still claiming he's a valid witness. When the police apprehended him, he said he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's gonna believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. So pleadingly. Please. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Seems like it. Then how did you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Damn. Fucking A+ argument right there. Prove to me you're innocent. Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory. You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that codger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness, please continue. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past, or lack thereof, into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said that he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order, order. Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying that you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho ho! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. I feel like I should have been able to get to this by just slamming the DL6 incident on the table, you know? His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident. It figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, as he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. Now, I understand that this is probably a little too much realism for an Ace Attorney game. But if he worked for a court, shouldn't his fingerprints be on file? Right? Is that not, like... Would they not have some record of who he is, like, physically? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't really know, I guess. It just seems like something that they would have on file if you work in, like, a court. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you gonna prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Oh, shit. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. Let's go. I see. That makes sense. Oh, I know he was arrested as well, wasn't he? Right. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. What? Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You've burned your fingerprints off? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to approve his identity. Shouldn't they have his DNA on record as well? He did get arrested. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? It seems the case has been decided. No. No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we gonna do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Ah. Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Unless... Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my... proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order. Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yes, I'm doing it. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. Legend. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name? The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Ahem. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Hello, hello, squawk. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well. Begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you gonna do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? I didn't think this through. Oh, it's good times. It's good times. Witness. Witness. You can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right. What do I say? Have we forgotten something? As I recalled 2 days ago. Have we forgotten something? Don't forget DL6. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, hello, squawk. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot, something we forgot? Hello, hello. Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick, she won't say it. This is ridiculous, why won't she say it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Hey, what if we press on to this one? Yeah. Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me. Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to a parrot. Well, I guess we should try. Yeah, you know. Right. Right. What's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly, what's your name? Polly, squawk. Mr. Wright, I think we've established this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with the owner's testimony? Of course. Yes, it does. 3 exclamation marks. Fascinating. You claim the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen. We're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. The proof the parrot's... Yep, DL6. The DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well. Please show us the page. Where in this file? Oh, fuck, which page is that on? It's suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was the fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Alone is a little weak for evidence in a trial. We need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? We're getting closer. One more. If we could just get one more piece of evidence. You may continue. And so, we will press again. What's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number of the safe in the shack? 1228, 1228. Alright, hold on. Is that a date? 1228, yes. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming this number. Actually, it does. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's identity? The DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file? Case summary. It's on the case summary page. The case summary. Specifically the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah! This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001 because I'm number 1. My brother in Christ, not only have you done something very badly in the first place, you also then said it in a public setting. It's bad enough you said it to that in the first place, but then you just told however many people are in this room. That has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, 2 coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. And I mean, come on. 1228 specifically? That's a huge coincidence, isn't it? Out of 9,999 possible combinations. That's what he chose, you know? What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness, tell us your name.
Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember.
No, it's okay.
I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done.
Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. This is why Yanni Yogi's low-key one of my favorite characters. He's been perfectly sane and lucid this entire time, but the man has just been able to look everyone in the eye and just go, "Ah yes, I own a noodle shop. You're my grandson, aren't you? Yes, that's right, you're going to take over the noodle stand. I'm going to sleep now." He's been sane and lucid the whole time. What a legend. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order. Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death?
Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. This doesn't work, by the way. Never works. No one has ever succeeded. I shouldn't say so definitively. Basically, nobody has ever been able to act insane. Because it's so easy to lose that. Like, as soon as you ask for a lawyer, that's enough to prove that you're, like, capable of understanding. It never works. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets.
Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean?
I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi?
Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession.
Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is
innocent, in this case at least.
Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand?
But of course, that's far too simple. We've only been in here for 30 minutes.
There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case, so I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections?
I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
We did it! We saved the city!
That is all. The court is adjourned.
No, of course not.
Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Von Karma. But that means no. Edgeworth, Your Honor, I object to your judgment.
What do you mean?
I'm not innocent at all. As you heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth's trying to confess. He's gonna say he's guilty. He's gonna tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's gonna tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? It's not gonna work. The judgment's already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday, too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth.
He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out.
For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer.
You mean in the incident where your father died?
From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for the DL6 incident, the statute of limitations for which ends today. The culprit is me.
Order, order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitation runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this.
Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial, right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago.
I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned.
I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. I mean, that's not true, though, is it? Yeah. Like how accidental murder is the same as murder? It's not. It's just not the same thing. Anyway, this is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it, in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right.
Now then, I would like to resume our trial.
Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations of the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book.
I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Will Mr. Miles Edgeworth take the stand?
Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That was like 3 days ago, I don't remember. This will be the key. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all.
And until now, you thought this memory was a dream.
We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. Bah, the same claim Mr. Yogi has made.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Von Karma, you are handling that case?
It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence.
As we weren't to leave an earthquake struck.
So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Mr. Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help, my father and Yogi lost their composure.
What did you do then?
I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then... What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? Man, pressing is not getting much extra here, huh? Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting thick, so thick I panicked. So you're saying you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. So... Hold on. The murder weapon was fired twice. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream, then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came.
I see.
No, Your Honor, unfortunately you don't, you stupid bitch. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. Fuck. It was victim data, correct? Yes. Look at the victim data in this file. It says, quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot?
Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice, however we do not know when that second shot was fired. So again, beyond reasonable doubt, but it might have been fired the day before the incident. Well, this seems to indicate to me that we can't prove it based on the evidence, and therefore reasonable doubt has been established, but, you know, there is no proof the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What?
I see. You do have a point. Mr. Wright, the murder weapon was fired twice, as we heard. One of the shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time.
Yes, I do. Yes, Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible.
Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof.
Behold, the obvious shot through the window. Look at this photograph. Look at this. No. I can't.
This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see the victim lying there as Gregory Edgeworth.
This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where?
Your Honor, please get a clue. Show the judge. Behold. Why is the frame rate for this gone down? As should be obvious. Am I running out of space? Why is the frame rate suddenly lower? No, I'm not running out of space. Weird. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see a bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot.
Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree the second shot was fired by someone else. And as far as I'm concerned, that should get us a not guilty right there. Pretty, reasonable doubt, but...
Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. Look what's written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene.
He does have a point.
The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in that door. Yes, of course, lots of things would make bullet holes, wouldn't they?
Order, I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So, all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim.
Because, why not, right? Obviously. I feel, we have to prove so much more. But if Von Karma said that, you'd just be like, yes, of course, ironclad, locked up, brother. Tusk, tusk, tusk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. Gah, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. Phoenix, you stupid bitch. Instead of asking, the question to ask here is, why didn't they find the second bullet? I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think that it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick, instead of saying, was there a second bullet, you ask, why was the second bullet not found? There's a reason. Well, to be fair, this one's a little more obtuse.
It seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Mr. Edgeworth.
Precisely.
I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections?
No, I do not.
So you killed your father, though that was not your intention.
Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here.
Right now.
Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There were so many things I should be saying. But my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright?
Objection!
Your Honor. I object. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Oof.
Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect.
Oh no.
Gah!
It must exist. The second bullet.
What? What did you just say? Nothing.
The second bullet must exist.
But where?
Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor.
The second bullet, it existed.
What?
But we've just heard proof it did not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet, but why?
Well, the obvious answer would just be to take the evidence away.
First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet?
The thing is, I do know the answer to this one because this is a pretty important part of the case, so I remember it, but I'm not sure which option gets to that conclusion. Murderer had to find it. Of course there was a need, that's why they took it. What possible reason could they have had? Well, the reason the murderer took it was... Well, this is the obvious answer. Maybe they thought the bullet would be used as proof? Proof. It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that was the case, then they shouldn't have taken the bullet from inside, and they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Yeah, fucking excellent argument, Von Karma. They should have just busted out a fucking scalpel, cracked his ribcage open, cut his heart up, and took the bullet out, right? Yeah, obviously, you fucking moron. Yeah. Oh, well, he should have took the bullet from Gregory as well. That's perfectly reasonable, isn't it? No, it isn't, you fucking moron. What kind of counter-argument was that? Huh? Why would they only take one of the two shots fired? Because one would have required fucking ripping a person open to get to. You fucking clown. What the fuck? Oh, right. That's the... Alright, must be the other one then. That was such a fucking stupid counter-argument. Why would the murderer have spent time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. Bah. The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it. The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. The murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer.
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you?
It's not like you could perform surgery right there.
Yeah, fucking exactly right. It's not like you can just crack a person up and take the bullet out.
Anyway. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's what really happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murder themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime?
Yeah. I guess that's how it would work, yes.
But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from the elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed.
Yeah, well, they weren't outside the fucking elevator, were they?
So that would mean
the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door, hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer, who kind of reminds me of Nick Fury, because, like, the way that this head is drawn kind of looks like he's got an eye patch on. Then the murderer opens the door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say.
Gee, it's almost like we've established reasonable doubt for like the 5th time.
What are you saying? Deny it. Deny it. No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect...
Why did I do that? To his perfect trial record.
It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma.
He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma.
Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed.
No, Your Honor. I'm just about to say something that's gonna really upset several people.
Well, you have indicated the possibility the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now?
Say it now.
Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
The what?
Von Karma.
Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, the one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object?
I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming I took a vacation to heal from my injury? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no. Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operating on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. So what if the bullet's still inside him? Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick?
Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove I was shot?
Alright, Von Karma. I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... I might be jumping a step. But I want you to wave the metal detector overhead. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible? For all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this over you and see what we find. Ooh.
I refuse.
You refuse? But refusing this means... you acknowledge the bullet is still inside you. I also feel like this is something you can really object to, because I could just wave it next to you and I wouldn't really be doing anything to you, would I? But whatever. Order, order, order. Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector.
Judge, I call for the suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, because I'm kind of a stupid bitch, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma. You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. He is correct, because I am making the accusation. However, I find it extremely hypocritical to say that when you're a prosecutor in an Ace Attorney game. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove... Especially when one of the lines of dialogue earlier was literally, prove he's innocent, you know? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. But I do. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close, one day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof, my badge. That's a bullet.
Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago.
Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired, it's quite accurate.
We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. It's that scream I heard in the elevator. 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? So, it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Deaf. Pretty sick freak out, huh? 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not... Fucking just admit it, why don't you? But not this time. Edgeworth. It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hallway and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. Somehow, no blood was left behind. I saw 3 people inside, all laying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. That's why I'm being convicted of it now. It was perfect. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge. What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now. End it.
Very well. It appears we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth,
not guilty. We did it. We saved the city.
That is all. The court is adjourned.
And that's the last time we see Von Karma. A true one-and-done character, which is impressive considering how many characters reappear. Believe it or not, even Mr. Saw It, the nerd from the first trial, shows up again in a different game. But Von Karma? We never see him again. As it should be. Nick, we did it. Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. And no, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. Oh, probably not for you, huh? So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah. I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try. Thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome? I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Woo! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoop. I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time, you'll get used to it. I want to hear one whoop every day. It's training. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey y'all! Lotta, you stupid bitch, what are you doing here? Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. That's... obviously. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Well, let bygones be bygones. Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. In 24 hours. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that hot dog guy from the park? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick. I'm not long for this world. Oh, you don't look sick? It's Keonce. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along too tonight, pal. My treat. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not like police talk for prison, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah, what's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. 38 exactly. Nick, wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Edgeworth at school?
$38. No. No! Larry, it was you!
What are you so surprised about, Wright? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect.
What?
Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you the way he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right. You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright. I'm surprised you didn't figure it out.
Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'd say so, yes.
There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did.
Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist.
Damn, dude. You didn't have to do him like that. Yeah, and you got worked up too easily, too. Death. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if only I'd known I'd have become a prosecutor.
The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I'd known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth, want to switch, right? I think that would be sick if we got to play as the prosecutor, to be honest, but whatever. I mean, I guess that's the investigations games, right? But, like, you know.
Hey, y'all, line up. I'll take a photo.
Hey, photo time. Let's go. And after that, dinner's on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention.
We celebrated his freedom without him.
Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's only 5. Maybe I should get back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium, for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Gah, the first trains for the mountains have already left to the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey, Nick, Maya. So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? God, anytime someone says be good, I always think of that fucking parrot story. Not the one from earlier, you know, the other parrot story about the researcher's parrot. Oh, it's so sad. Wait. What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence. Evidence. Show Maya some evidence. Behold. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma, and you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. The fact that text wasn't centered bothered me a lot. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur.
Mr. Wright, perhaps you would like to rethink that claim.
Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Except that that's not the end, of course. It was originally, but we've got the 5th case to play. Hey, pal. Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop, Detective Gumshoe. Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Huh? Nick? Haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you'd call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah.
Oh, Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I heard he's busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful.
Phoenix Wright? Ah, the defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for, yes. You should know I have taken over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Ahem. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Ah, yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Good talk.
Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Did you know, baby, or how am I supposed to keep it all straight anymore anyway?
I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. And when I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know. Yeah, I would be a bit off-put if I found out you were the Pink Princess, to be honest. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? Right, who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. Alright. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day. And I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit.
Ugh, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy my tender age. My immersion's immediately broken. There's no way a kid like Cody would watch Pink Princess. He's not that kind of kid. Yeah, I remember, Wright. That lawyer guy. Huh? Me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real? Now that's a talent. I'm gonna be famous. There she is. I've forgotten that Gumshoe was doing that. Now in my head, he's the one that throws confetti at the end of every trial. Except, yeah, we still have one more to go. This wasn't in the original game, that's why the credits rolled. This was added for the DS re-release of the game, because it was on the GBA originally. So this case was actually written after the third game in the trilogy had already been made. Consequently, this case is like as long as the rest of the game. The first game is pretty short. This trial is fucking enormous, and I actually never finished it because of how girthy it is. Because I played the games out of order. This game was actually the last one I played. I went in reverse order. Not intentionally, it's just what happened. So I never actually finished this trial. I only got into like day 2, I think, so it'll actually be new ground for me. Though I know who did it. It's pretty obvious the second you lay eyes on him. Anyway, let's go. But we're gonna be here for a while with this one.